of just first off, given the past 3-4 matchups in this series, do you come in expecting a close match? Do you expect one that's going to, kind of be neck and neck throughout?
Yeah, I mean, we know that this is always going to be a close game. We're friends with their coaches. I mean, both Eric and Higgy are good guys that we hang out with, and when we're at recruiting events, because they're good guys, and we know the type of players they recruit. You can see the kind of game they play. It's similar to the way that we try to play, and we know that it's going to be a barn burner of a game. It's been that way ever since. This is the first game in 5 or 6 times that it hasn't been a 1-goal game. Well, and luckily for us, it's a 2-goal win for us. But so that's why it just means a little bit more to get the result for us, and to do it in front of the 12th man is terrific, and it gets a bad taste out of our mouth from a loss last game. So it's hopefully something that can get us going on a nice note. We have another home game coming up on Sunday, so we want this to be a good boost going into the weekend.
Do you think you took anything away from that Baylor game that you apply to this one when it's neck and neck and scoreless in the first half, and then this time y'all can kind of break away and take that lead in the second half?
Well, you tend to learn. Unfortunately, you tend to learn a lot from losses, and we learned a lot from just the lack of lack of intensity in the Baylor game. We were very lethargic in the way that we played, and I think the first half was very much opposite of that. We came out. I thought we had good fire to the way that we put pressure on the ball, because if you give a team like TCU, who's very, very good, the favorites in the Big 12, if you give them time on the ball, they're going to pick you apart, and they're that good. And so you've got to give our girls credit, because we made them look uncomfortable on the ball, and that's not easy to do.
Can you talk about the halftime adjustments y'all made, really kind of a message in the locker room that really led to that hot start into the second half?
Well, it wasn't really much in the way of adjustments. It was just a matter of, we thought that our intensity was great when we didn't have the ball, but then all of a sudden we kept giving the ball back in the first half, and we had 4 shots. We had outshot them 4-0 in the first half, but none of our shots were on frame. So it was just a matter of, listen, when we get the ball, let's keep it, and when we get the ball and we're going to get chances, can we do something about putting the ball on frame? And went down, and the first 2 chances we got, we did put them on frame, both with Mia and Mac getting their chances. And we've been saying over and over as the season went on, people were asking us about, who were some special players on our team. Well, there you see 2 of our most special players right there, and set up by Jazz up front in the one transition goal where she collected the ball, found a way to get the ball to Mac, and Mac finished it. So couldn't be more pleased for those 2. Because we've been waiting for them to kind of break out and get on the score sheet, and great night for them to do it.
After that first half, what was kind of going through your mind, knowing that the TCU offense, that TCU intensity was likely coming in the second half?
Well, the pessimist in me was like, we played really well in the first half. It would be a shame not to win the game when you have you hold them to no shots on goal, and you basically play most of the game in front in their half of the field. That if something was to turn around in the second half and they turn it around, because we knew that they would come out. They're a well coached team, so that they're not going to just get on the bus and go back to Fort Worth. They're going to come out playing, and they did. And so how were we going to respond? So a big part of our halftime talk was just like, hey, you better be ready to respond, because they're going to come out. I'm sure they're being fed raw meat right now, getting ready to come out and be focused on possessing the ball better than they did in the first half, and they did, and that they're going to be coming out looking to get more chances, and they did. So hats off to our goalkeeper. I thought Sid Fuller had her best game yet, and again, she's just 18 years old, and she's been getting better and better, and this was a really good night. And one of the things you could see some of the things that we've been focusing on in her training, and it really came into fruition tonight. So couldn't be more pleased for her, and the players really responded for her tonight too.
And I know you've been talking a lot throughout this season about you guys have had a lot of really long goals, a lot of 30-yarders, and trying to bridge the gap, kind of get those shorter the tap-ins. It seemed like you guys had a lot more movement in the box, closer goals. What do you think really bridged that gap for you guys?
Well, again, it just kind of comes down to, the season is so short, and our preseason is really short. Our preseason is only 2 weeks long. So it's just a matter of kind of getting it moving and getting it going. I mean, we've only been really together for a month. It's barely the first week in September. We only really started the first week in August. So it's just kind of, getting our mojo back and getting ourselves going and reminders. And again, sometimes you learn the most in losses. And like I said, last game in Waco was one that we'd like to flush, but flush after we take all the pieces that we want to learn from. And and movement in the box is one of the things that we talk about, being able to make it difficult for us to be defended when we're trying to put the ball in the back of the net.
All righty, thanks.
Awesome. Thanks.
So first off, I know being a senior, first 3 years, losing to TCU, how does it feel to get this one finally?
It feels great. I mean, we were always one goal shy. We were always just so close, and so just to get the 2-0 win and come out with that, it was just really exciting, really fun, and you can show that we put in the work these last couple of weeks, and everything's shown on the field today, so really exciting.
Given that history with TCU, do you come into these matches expecting a close one when it's really going to be kind of neck and neck throughout?
Of course, we all know each other. We're some of the girls on the team I play club soccer with. We've been playing each other for the last 3 years, so we all know what to expect from each other. So of course we have to switch a couple of things up, so things aren't expected. And so coming in today, I think that we also showed that as well.
Awesome. What do you think you took away from that Baylor loss last week that you can apply to this one, where it's scoreless first half, and then this time y'all can break away in the second half and build that a bit of a comfortable lead?
Our intensity. I mean, we have to come out. We have to start every half intense like we did the last 2 minutes of Baylor, and we have to bring that intensity in today, and we have to do that going forward as well. You can see that when we're all over the field that we're unstoppable. I mean, in the first half they had 0 shots on goal, so I mean that was just something that we strived for and that we practiced this week as well.
On that goal of yours, I think you got between the two defenders. What were you seeing there, and what was that from your point of view?
Just being unpredictable. I mean, a lot of people know that I can shoot on my right, so kind of faking it and then cutting in, and then also being able to just curve it back post is something I've been working on as well.
So, being your fourth time against TCU, how does it feel to finally get this win against them after the previous 3 seasons?
Amazing. Like, every year we've been super close. Last year last 5 minutes they scored against us, we missed a PK. So every year it's such a tight game between us, so happy we could get that win tonight.
What do you think you've taken from those previous 3 TCU matchups and apply that to this one, kind of knowing what you do about them and their team?
I mean, I think it's an in-state rival, so just bringing the energy, bringing the confidence. I know every time they're going to step on the field, they're going to be giving it 100%. They're a tough team to play against. So I think just that confidence and that energy going into this game is what made us come out with the win.
What do you think you took away from the Baylor match last week with that scoreless first half, and then you'll come out with a lot of intensity in the second half and then build a bit of a comfortable lead?
Yeah, I think I just have to give the team credit for that. All through practice this week, we were really working on our energy and our defensive shape and getting tight, close to the ball. And you could see that tonight, and I think that's what led to our success tonight. So I think just every single person on the field, people that came in, they didn't drop the intensity, they brought it up. So I think it was just a really good team performance.
Playing in a team like TCU, what does it mean to you to have a goalkeeper like Sydney and a defense like y'all's defense behind you?
So happy for Sydney, a freshman, but she doesn't play like a freshman. So super happy. She's confident back there. She talks to us, and stepping off her line in big moments like that just shows she's going to be a really good a big player for this team coming up.
And it seems like y'all's teamwork in the box was really important in this match. Getting those 2 shots on goal from TCU and blocking those. Can you talk a little bit about what you guys worked on in practice, how you think that came together?
Yeah, so I think all week at practice we were just focusing on getting close to the ball and not letting people take a shot. So that's where you saw those block shots coming from. Just not just getting there, but applying pressure. That doesn't mean just this, you got to get really there so they can't get a shot off. And I think that's what we did today. We did not let them have a second out there.
What did you see on your goal there in the second half?
I mean, it was a great ball from Andy, and I just was run, Mia, and then I picked my head up, and I was calm, don't smash it, just get it in the back of the net, and kind of just went in. Yeah.
All righty, thanks.
Thank you so much.
So your first match against TCU, I know there's a lot of experienced players on this team that have faced them multiple times. Did they talk to you about what to expect in this game based on those previous 3 matchups against them?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I was here to face him in the spring, actually, so I kind of knew a little bit like what I was getting, but like we knew coming out in this game it was not going to be easy, and like we had to bring the energy from the very start, and like all of the other girls just reinforcing that throughout the whole entire day. Like this is a game that if we bring the energy, we can win, and that was so reinforced, and I mean we showed that out in the game today.
When you were there in the box, do you have does it give you more confidence knowing the offense that this team has to work with, or even if it's a scoreless first half, then eventually they're probably going to break through?
Yeah, exactly. Like first half, I mean, it's just you got another 45 minutes to go in the second half with anything can happen. And I mean, we've been getting all the opportunities during the game, but today, I mean, it finally just came through. We executed, we finished. And I mean, that's like the biggest relief ever when I see we finally get one in. I'm like, everyone's up here cheering, but I'm back in the goal, still cheering just as loud. And it's just like so nice when it all comes together. And it definitely gives me more like confidence throughout the game.
What was kind of going through your mind at halftime into the first half, knowing that TCU, that offense was going to come back roaring in the second half?
Yeah, I mean, definitely in halftime, it was just like straight tunnel vision for me. I was like, I have to stay focused. I mean, any single lapse in focus from anyone on the team, like, ends up in a shot, like in the last second of the game, like just a little lapse of focus and they get a shot off. So I think it was really important to stay as focused as I can. I mean, that's part of the position is you're not involved in every play, but you have to be focused at all times. And just trying to keep that mentality throughout the game was really helpful.
And there were a lot of really close ones there, especially with TCU getting in your box. How important was your teamwork and communication with your team during that?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I want to give all credit to my back line. I think, one of the best back lines in the country. We're constantly talking to each other throughout the game. We have each other's cover. We have each other's backs all the time. So, I mean, yeah, balls are going to get in. That's part of the game. That's part of soccer. But knowing that I have such a strong back line that I can work with, and there's such a strong sense of camaraderie, I mean, it's comforting back there as a goalkeeper.